Welcome back to IGN Live at Comic-Con. Now, assuming nothing goes wrong, cooking dinner for yourself after a long day can be a rewarding way to unwind, but get a couple of friends in the kitchen with you and things might just get a little more stressful.
Yeah, Overcooked 2 takes the expression too many cooks in the kitchen to the extreme. Let's take a look at the follow-up to one of the most popular party games of 2016. Right now, we are with the brand managers from Team 17, Danny Spittery and Steve Stanley. Thanks for joining us, you guys.
No, thanks for having us.
Okay, so I told you guys I played this at E3. I absolutely loved it, but everybody was just screaming at each other. It was absolute chaos. Why do you think people love this game so much? Even though it like causes like so much like tension, everyone's yelling at each other.
I think people learn something about themselves and their friends when playing this game. It can kind of bring out the best or the worst in you. And it's just all about having fun. It's so whimsical, and it's just there's no barrier of entry. Anyone can play this game, but it's just a good way of kind of working together and having a bit of chaos.
I like that you've got this sort of the Julia Child. Anyone can cook.
Anyone can cook
badly in a game. Now, for anyone who hasn't been paying very close attention, what's new for Overcooked 2 that wasn't in the first game?
So one of the biggest things that everyone was asking for is to bring in online multiplayer. So everyone was shouting about that. That's one of the things we brought in for the sequel. We've also added a throwing mechanic. So now if you have fresh ingredients, you can actually throw them to your fellow chefs from across the kitchens. And we've also got new dynamic levels as well. So you'll see how the levels sort of change and evolve.
They'll start in one location and then something kind of dramatic will happen, and then you'll end up in a completely new area. And you've got to react on the fly to kind of changing orders or the kitchen splitting apart. I mean, because whilst it is a cooking game, it's not a traditional cooking game.
The restaurant industry is pretty unforgiving. It's all about good location. Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay shouting at you, why is the floor splitting apart?
When I was playing at E3, it was like so crazy because it would start off all peaceful, and I was like, oh, this is fun. We're all getting along. And then, like you said, like fires were starting and all this chaos was breaking out. So I want to know, what is your strategy advice? Because I was playing with strangers the first time, and so we were kind of just like quiet and just like, yay. And then by like this second, third level, we were like assembly line. We're like, you do this, get on that, da-da-da. So like, what's your strategy advice?
I mean, for me, I'm quite the same to yourself. I like to sort of assign people roles. Yeah. Like, look, I hate to say it, but you're doing the dishes.
Yeah.
I'll do the rice.
You need to make sure.
Exactly. You need to sort of order in the chaos.
You can always tell when things aren't going well and people aren't talking. Like that's the big issue. You need to be talking and kind of saying, you do this, you do that. And I mean, with things like the throwing mechanic, that's an extra level of kind of complexity that it's pretty much optional. But if you want to get the best scores, the best times, then you can use that to kind of throw food across the gaps. We've also added a new system where if you actually deliver the food in the order that the recipes come up, then you'll build up a combo system as well. So a lot of the things that we've added, we wanted to make sure we kept the simplicity there, but for those people who really want to do well, they've got options.
Is there any like matchmaking for this, or like a way of kind of reviewing your partners? Is there Yelp integration is what I'm getting at?
Oh, well, we've got an emote system, so if you are playing online, you can actually, tell people what you're doing at the time, and then in between games, you kind of, say good job, or that didn't go so well.
Maybe vent a few frustrations as well.
Exactly.
Drop some F-bombs.
Oh gosh.
Now this is a very stupid question. Everyone else is doing it. Obviously, the more cooks in the kitchen, the more it spoils the broth. The more players you add, to the battlefield, the more messy it gets. Can you guys make a battle royale with cheese?
Yeah.
Can you like have you? I mean, I'm not expecting you to do it right now.
I mean, it's bad enough with 4 chefs in the kitchen. I can't imagine 100. I think that would pretty much blow everything out of the water. I mean, there'd be fires everywhere.
Have you done any like kind of game jam stuff internally to like screw with like throwing more players in there and really just seeing what breaks the game?
Well, it's a constant source of iteration. We've co-developed this alongside Ghost Town Games. This is a real kind of partnership between Team 17 and Ghost Town Games, and it is a case of like throwing ideas in there. We all play it together. We test it, feedback on it, and then just continue to iterate and refine it to make sure that it's always fun.
Okay, so when we were watching that video there, we had some obstacles in the way. Like you saw people walking through there. I know you guys can't say too much. Can you talk about some of the fun challenges that people are going to face? Like we were talking about fires and such.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the new levels that we're doing is the Wizard School.
Okay.
Which
Ooh,
is really, really awesome.
like
so
that.
it has a central area, and then the stairs sort of come up on either side, but they go away.
cool.
But then there's also like 2 teleports as well. So you
Like
can
portals, yeah.
So there's different sort of food items on this side, and then on this side is where you got your service. So you need to either you can throw things through the portal as well. You can throw things down to the bottom. You can go in and out. So there's really sort of intricate.
Now you're
going on.
cooking with portals.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I want to play that Wizard World. I love it. Oh, sorry. Go.
I was gonna say we've seen some like very pretty food in games recently. I feel like looking at like Final Fantasy 15 and Skyrim and obviously Breath of the Wild had a lot of cooking in it. Would you guys ever see like almost an Overcooked 3D or like a more realistic approach, like totally throwing the aesthetic out the window and
The opportunities are endless. I think as long as you kind of keep this core component about just always being fun and whimsical, I could see Overcooked working in any way. You know.
Okay, I hated those floors, by the way, when I was
Oh,
playing
the
it.
travelators
It
things,
was
yeah.
messing me up so badly. I want to ask you guys, what's your favorite character? Because I have a very specific one, and I want to know
Right.
which ones you guys pick.
I'm going to
They're so
cheat and give
cute.
2.
Okay.
So one of the really special characters is actually a Nintendo Switch exclusive. We worked
Oh.
closely with Nintendo on the announcement, and we felt that it was right to kind of give Nintendo players an extra character. So we've got the Platypus Chef, who is really cool.
Platypus.
But
I love
the,
it.
beloved Nintendo mascot, the platypus.
Exactly. But my personal favourite, and it's one I have on my business card, is the Unicorn Chef, which is also a pre-order bonus chef.
Oh my gosh, epic. What about you, Steve?
I mean, I'm quite a big fan of the Unicorn Chef as well. 'Cause
There's the Unicorn Chef,
yeah,
right,
it's
in the middle?
You know, it looks awesome, but I do sort of.
In the green, right? Is that
Yeah,
unicorn?
yeah.
Oh,
He's got the hair, he's got the sunglasses.
Yeah.
But I kind of revert to the panda quite a lot.
But
Okay.
there's a lot of like fan favourites returning, like
Yeah.
the Raccoon Chef in the wheelchair.
That's the
It was
correct
like-
answer. Is the raccoon in the wheelchair?
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
I like the puppy at the end when he gives you
Oh,
like
well,
how you
Kevin.
did.
Yeah,
yes,
Kevin the dog.
Kevin. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin is absolutely the cutest.
Okay, so I got one last question. Hypothetically, are there any other seemingly harmless everyday activities that you could see making a great game like this, just off the top of your head?
Ooh.
I think anything that seems mundane can actually have like a load of fun associated with it when you take the mechanics of something like Overcooked and even using like machinery that's kind of sparking and going off or
Collecting garbage, maybe.
yeah, exactly.
I was thinking garbage, like almost like
yeah.
a reverse Paperboy or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going around and there's just
I'd play
mummies
that.
in the street. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by. There is tons more Comic-Con still to come, so stick around.
Great job, you guys.
Thank you very much.
That was awesome.